How might a family like that utilize music to help support a young person, adolescent, college student transitioning to the United States?
I think there's a lot of ways that you can do it. In my family, music was always a huge part. So
Mhm.
we would sing songs together as a family, play
Mm,
music together as a
mhm,
family, both my nuclear and extended family. Um,
mm,
there was kind of a running playlist of songs that everyone in the family liked that we would listen to on, certain occasions. And um, for us, church was a
mhm,
big part of growing up and having like that spiritual community,
mhm,
singing in the choir and like all
mhm,
these things that I think kind of intertwine music with
mhm,
culture and social
mhm,
groups, and your community. So um, I think just keeping aspects of your culture alive.
mhm,
And I think music is one really powerful mechanism and tool for keeping culture sort of alive and keeping sort of the rhythm of the ancestors, their vibration, you know, continuing to move through us in a certain way. For children, as they move into new cultures, music can also be like a cool way or window into learning about the place you're in. For me, I really didn't get super into hip hop music until I came to the United States. And then, like my cousins who were already up here, like, introduced me to Tupac and Jay-Z
mhm,
and
mhm.
Nas and like these people who really start to shape like even how I approach music. And kind of like, living in New York is kind of like you learn how to like move based on like the hip hop culture and like
Mhm.
you watch music videos and you're like, okay, this is like how you be cool or like do the cool thing. Like all of
Yeah.
that. I think those are really important things. I think even as adolescents
Yes.
and like in learning. And so even for me, like moving to different places, like when I first moved to the DC, Maryland area, like go-go music is like a big thing down
I've
there.
heard about this go-go music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So yeah, when I first moved there, I was just like, go, like, that's like we don't, because I was coming, from New York. Um, but it turned out that like go music actually cranks. And like once I learned it and saw like how it was a part of the culture and learned the beat and stuff, it's like, okay, this is really cool.
Mhm,
And so yeah, I think music can also be a really cool way to learn about the place that you're in and
mhm.
kind of what their energy is like, what are people thinking about and talking about.
You just reminded me to ask you the question that I wanted to start off with. Your name, AZA. I've always been curious.
Yeah.
Is this a given name at birth?
No, this is a name that I changed to in my third year of med school. Um,
Okay.
and it all is actually tied into things we were already talking about because that was a part of how um, I integrated my full identity into sort of my professional space was by using the name that I had started to use as my artist name in the sort of professional space. And it was definitely something that I felt I needed to do to be intentional again about for myself being clear about sort of what I was valuing and centering and why.
So you'd be carrying the music part of your identity, really the whole part of yourself into your medical professional work.
Hmm. Hmm.
Does it have a meaning?
Yeah, I mean it has a few layers of meaning, but AZA really stands for kind of the cycle of um, of birth and like and death and sort of rebirth. And it's like you start off in life at a certain place. And I think a lot of our passions and kind of who we are at our core is there in us from birth. Like it's there really early.
Mhm,
But then I think sometimes due to our conditioning and stuff, we go kind of really far
mhm,
away from who we are to try to find something. And oftentimes that search brings us back to like where we started and the things that were always kind of innate to us and true to us. And so AZA for me kind of represents that cycle of me coming back to kind of like myself and the things I've always been passionate about and
mhm,
valued. and making those things central to like my identity across the board.
Names are powerful. If there's one thing that you wanted to share that we have not yet discussed with anybody who is listening, what might that be?
Well, I'm excited about a project that I'm working on called Me Freely.
Me Freely, okay.
Yeah, and it's a wellness platform that is designed for people of African descent and Black Indigenous people of color more generally. And we're going to be bringing sort of music mindfulness tools to the community in a way that will be, accessible and scalable. And so, yeah, I have, a great group of people that I'm partnered with to do this. And it's just something to look out for.
That's awesome.
Because we'll definitely want feedback from people to kind of continue to make it useful.
That's awesome. Especially given that it sounds to me that this kind of work can be really helpful to individuals, but there's not many formal or informal ways to properly access it. So That's Me Freely.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I'm looking forward to me feeling it with you. All right, AJ, thank you so much for joining me today.
No, thank you for having me.
Hey family, if you're finding value in our content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us reach more Caribbean immigrants who need guidance, encouragement, and a safe space to talk about mental health. Let's build this community together because our well-being matters. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. One love.